Oh my gosh, life has been crazy and we've got so much to unpack, but I'll get to that. Stick with me. We're also going to be talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. If you're new here, hi, my name's Amy. This is Ren Plus Us, and if you are not new here, welcome back. I have got a massive day of cleaning for you guys. Heaps of cleaning motivation to get your house sparkling clean. I'm starting off the day by getting my mum uniform on. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel so much more like put together when I've got my hair done. It's like, okay, it is go time, especially if I've got it braided. Not quite sure what I'm writing there, but we're starting with the table. I find it's just one of those places that collects so much mess. And I gotta say, we so often do not sit down and eat food there. It's pretty rare, only if maybe we have guests over or something like that, even though I know that there's so many benefits to eating together as a family. I suppose it's just because we've got little kids who like to eat a bit earlier. Ren, my middle child that you can see there, he's really funny and fussy with his food. So he just will not sit down and like eat a full meal at all. So it's just not going to work for us as a family. So I try just to give myself some grace there, and we try to spend time together when we can. So I just flashed up then on the screen this Milo. Oh my gosh, it's this Milo mocha drink. I know if you're in the US, you don't have Milo. If you can order some and import it, I highly recommend it. It's so tasty. But I've started to just make them now. I like make a mocha and put a little bit of Milo in it because I'm a child. So that's just what I do. But it's really yummy. You can see there Ren's helping me clean. He loves to help clean, which is super awesome. He's always loved to do like the helping stuff, like the cooking and the cleaning, and yeah, he's awesome. But I have lots of different ways that I like to clean. Sometimes I like to go around the whole house and clean up the trash first, but in this case I just really wanted to focus on one area at a time, partly because it's a lot easier when I'm filming. But I don't know, it's just what I felt like doing today. And sometimes it's nice to change up the way that you clean just to keep it interesting. You can see Ren helping himself to some bickies on the table. See what I mean? He just likes to sort of snack and, I don't know, eat more plain things. So I let him. I try not to force him to eat, I don't know, things he doesn't want to. I read that it's not good for them if you force them. And look at that. Oh, a lovely clean table already. Just having those clean spaces makes me feel so good. And I often find just focusing on one area at a time is really beneficial just for my focus and just to actually get things done, as opposed to pottering around the house all day and kind of just picking up bits and pieces and never feeling like you're actually getting anywhere. So I'm having a little bit of an interesting day, an interesting time of year. My little boy Johnny, who is 12, he just had his year 6 final, I don't know how to explain it even, year 6 graduation final lunch today, and I just cannot believe he is growing up so much. It's amazing. But yeah, so he's finishing 6th grade, and here I've got my scraper. You guys, you have got to get one of these. Getting these really difficult little messes of the table, it is an absolute gem. It's some paint that's stuck on there, and I got to say, the paint actually usually washes out of clothes really well. It's washable paint, but in this case on the wood table, it was just that little bit harder, and it was so much dense paint. And then we're just doing some table polish here. So what I like to do when I'm doing the table is I will clean it with disinfectant, and then I'll do some polish. Oh, what's it called? You guys have it in the US. Lemon pledge. Lemon pledge. So I don't know if you guys have had a child graduate from grade school, primary school, but yeah, it's definitely a change. He's going to a different school for high school, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully he'll enjoy it, but as a mum, it's interesting. I think it's easier for me because I've got some other little kids still in the house, but I imagine if that's your last one going through that farewelling of primary school, that is probably really hard. I can't say I feel hugely sad about it, I gotta say. I just feel I don't know, it's just a weird feeling. It feels like it's gone so fast. I feel like he was just in kindergarten the other day, and I feel like I haven't changed at all. I'm sure I have, but I feel like I haven't. So heading into the living room, and oh my gosh, it is really bad in the living room. Oh, it just gets bad so quickly. I like to let the little kids have their toys and have a play around the place. But I'm just starting with picking up the clothes, some of the big blankets, and then we'll move on to the smaller items. Oh, the toys, these blocks. Constantly putting them away, but that's okay. So if you do watch the channel, if you do follow along, thank you so much. You've noticed that I've been gone for a really long time. There's a few things that have happened, and I'll kind of unpack them slowly. But I got a job actually for a client as a YouTuber, which has been really exciting, and I've loved doing it, but it has taken up a lot of time, and a lot of time with a baby and a toddler and a 12-year-old. I just did not have time to film these, and I was starting to not enjoy it, and it was actually keeping me from cleaning, because you probably don't notice watching, or you probably don't realize watching it, but actually like setting up a camera, often I have to set up some lighting because it's super dark in my house sometimes, especially in the winter. Yeah, it sort of is a barrier. It takes more time to clean, and when cleaning's already like quite a difficult thing for me because I've got ADHD, it just makes it harder to get things organized. Putting that extra barrier of filming was just making things impossible and stressing me out. So I took a break, but now I feel ready to come back to it, which is really exciting because I've really missed making these videos for you guys. So 2025 will be the year of YouTube, I hope. And the other thing that happened more recently was I got really sick with inflammatory bowel disease, which a lot of people mistake that for IBS, but it's not. It's different. So feel free to look it up, but it's not a lot of fun. And one of the things is that really zapped my energy. I had it for a really long time and didn't know, but I just knew that I was really tired and just felt so overwhelmed. The good thing is having it, I actually lost quite a bit of weight, which I needed to anyway. So that was a plus, and I've fallen back in love with cooking from scratch, and I can't wait to share some delicious, quick, easy recipes with you guys that are healthy, but honestly, you don't feel like you're eating boring healthy food. Like you feel like you're eating naughty food. But yeah, I was also really nauseous after a while and just got really unwell I'm on medication now, so I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling healthier than I think I've ever felt before. So yeah, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, the fatigue is still one of those things that lingers. I think probably just being a mum of 3, you're pretty fatigued anyway, but this just makes it that extra little bit difficult, let's say. Oh, I think my favorite part's coming up, vacuuming. I love vacuuming. We've got dark carpet, which just, if anything drops on it, it just looks terrible. And I probably complained about this before in other videos, but seriously, you guys, like we've got white pebbled driveway, which is the worst thing to have with a dark carpet because you just drag it in. Like we take our shoes off before we come in and we still drag in the pebbles, which just like look so strong on the dark carpet. So honestly, like it's really great for, spills. You don't see spills, but if there's any like little bits and pieces that drop on the floor, which there are, and probably a lot more than you realize, you will be vacuuming like 3 times a day, like legitimately, which is kind of good because then you see the mess so you can clean it up. But look at those. I actually love vacuuming this carpet because you can see the nice carpet lines. That little giggling sound is my little boy Ren, by the way. He's with me while I'm doing my voiceover right now. Okay, I'm cleaning the couch. I don't want you guys to worry because I can see the baby touching the little bits of foam, but it's okay. I washed her hands like straight after she touched them, so please don't stress. Oh, that's her now. You can hear her. But seriously, how fun is the foam to clean with? I just got so many stains off. Ah, here we go. I find the couch is one of those things that just gets super dirty, and I kind of regret not buying a couch where you can just unzip the cushions and chuck them in the wash. But at the same time, this couch is super comfortable. Oh, so many children with me. Hello. Okay, you guys, we are doing really, really well. I have just stopped for a coffee, and I'm probably going to give my camera a bit of a charge. I am running out of space, so we'll keep going for as long as we possibly can. But I get to tick a few more things off of the list, which is just the best. Oh, I can hear my little one. She's crying. So we can tick off table. This is the best part where you get to just cross stuff out. Yes. Living room. I'm going to cross that off now because we're nearly there. Okay, and I think the next thing I'm going to do is the laundry, because we need to get the laundry done so we can get that hanging out to dry. So we'll do the laundry, and I think today if I can get the laundry done and just like the kitchen and this kind of front hallway area, then I'll feel accomplished and we can continue tomorrow. But right now I'm just gonna have my coffee. Well deserved, may I say, well deserved. And there's Johnny, my year 6 graduate nearly. Okay. Oh, this part of the house. Oh, this is bad, you guys. I'm just looking at it now. I'm like, oh, that's a shocker. That's okay. We're getting there. And I always like, just to be really honest with you guys, like, this is what a lot of family homes look like. It really is. But you know what? Like, I think that cleaning and tidying up is just it's just such a great workout. Like, really, you do not need to go to the gym if you have got a family and you're cleaning like half the day. So I've just watched, and I don't know about you guys, but Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Like, oh my gosh, every time I look at this story, every time I watch something or read something about this, I just get, like, I always think I've heard enough. I never have. Like, I don't know what it is about this story. I think it's just so complex. It just draws you in every single time. So in case you don't know, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was a girl, whose mother allegedly medically abused her when she was a child, and even when she was an adult, up until the age of like 22, I think she was. Basically forced her to be in a wheelchair, forced her to have a feeding tube, and just emotionally abused her. It's a really sad story. I'm sure you guys know the story. Everyone knows the story, but if you don't, definitely look it up. And yeah, she ended up getting her boyfriend to murder her mother. But I've just finished watching a dramatized TV show on it called The Act, and oh my gosh, if you have not seen it, watch it. Like, I sort of just put it on like, oh, I don't know, I know this case really well. Like, they don't usually do these dramatized versions as well as they do, like, as well as good as it is to watch like an actual documentary about it. the acting was just superb. There was such wonderful actors in it. There was Patricia Arquette, who you would know from Medium. There was Joey King, who's been in a bunch of stuff. The thing I know her most well from is The Conjuring, because I love my horror movies. Who else was in it? Oh, I've forgotten her name. She was in like my favorite band's video clip. That's what I get. And she was in From Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, what's her name? She was married to a skateboarder for a while. I know everything about her except her name. Julia something Julia. Anyway, she was great. Please leave a comment if you remember her name, because it's frustrating me that I've forgotten it. But yeah, so many great actors in this. It was just, Anna Sophia Robb was in it. Oh, and Chloe. I can never say her surname. Chloe Sevigny. I'm sure I got that way wrong. I'm sure I got that embarrassingly wrong. But I think one of the things I really, truly loved about the show is that they portrayed the complexity of the situation so well. They showed each character's vulnerability, but also each character's, I don't want to say evilness, bad side, or like, sorry, my kids are here. Like they made the characters complex. They showed the complexity of the story, because I think it's one of those things where, you know, there's so many sides to it. I think if you understand emotional abuse or medical abuse, you can be, come on guys, oh my gosh, you can be a lot more sympathetic to the daughter, Gypsy. But at the same time, you know, you also sort of feel you do have like obviously some heart for the mother, because everyone's got their own issues. And also like you just don't know how complicit Gypsy was, because basically they scammed a lot of people to get money. That was, I'm sorry, I don't know what I just said. And you just don't know how complicit Gypsy was in the scams of getting money out of people, because basically one of the biggest reasons why they did this, or what the mother did this medical abuse, was to it's okay, was to scam people, to scam charities and people to get money. And they got a house and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, you just don't know how complicit she actually was in that. My personal opinion is that she was brought up this way and she trusted her mother, and she was in this emotionally abusive situation. And people often think, well, why did you have to go so far as to murder your mother? Why didn't you just walk out the door, or tell the police, or just do anything but that? But I think she was probably mentally in a place that her mother had put her in where she really didn't think she could do that. And that's what abusers do in these situations. But at the same time, the mother's not here to defend herself, and we'll never know really the true story, the full story. So yeah, we'll take it all with a grain of salt. But yeah, it's a fascinating story. It's such an interesting story in terms of just human psychology. You know, I think one of the best parts of the show was when the big crime had just been committed, and Gypsy Rose is walking out of her house with her boyfriend, and it's almost like she's so nervous to leave the house, like she doesn't want to leave the house. And I think like she's realizing at that point, she always thought it was her mum keeping her there, but it was actually herself keeping herself there. I don't know. That's just my interpretation of it, but you might have a different interpretation. But let me know, please, in the comments, what you think of it. If you think Gypsy was complicit in what happened or not, in terms of the medical abuse and the scamming of people. I think the biggest victim in this whole thing, obviously, other than the mother, she was a victim too, and so was Gypsy, but was the boyfriend. I mean, she got him to murder her mother, and he had a mental capacity of about 15. He was just he thought he was doing the right he thought he was doing the right thing by her. He didn't really understand the consequences of his actions entirely. I don't think he was just sort of swept away by Gypsy, and you know, she got, I think, 10 years. I think she got out after 8 years. He's got life in prison. I don't think that's totally fair. I think that he was, you know, manipulated by her as well, and I think if you're going to give her less of a sentence because she was manipulated by her mother, then why would you give him a life sentence when he was also manipulated? So yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of like I think that's sort of unfair. I think he was definitely a victim in this, and I hope he gets let out sooner, because he'd never committed any violent crime before. And like, I'm actually someone who's really like hardcore on crime, on youth crime especially. Like, I think if you commit a serious crime, you should be doing serious time. But this is one of those really rare situations where it is so much more complex. And yeah, I just don't know. I just don't think that was fair. But ultimately, you know, it is a sad story. And I think what's so interesting now is with her being out, she's been doing a lot of these TV shows, and, you know, she maybe hasn't been giving the best impression of a person. You know, just because you're a victim, it doesn't mean that you're always innocent. You know, you can be a victim and be not totally innocent, but at the same time, you know, she's living her life on screen, and none of us are perfect. Except my cat there. She's perfect. She thinks she's perfect. Anyway, yeah, I didn't mean to make light of the story of this really tragic story, and it is tragic for so many people. But yeah, I think we have not heard the last from Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She's about to have a baby, so best of luck to her and her new little family, and best of luck to her poor ex-boyfriend who is still sitting in jail. Oh, yes, I love a nice shiny kitchen floor. I've stopped using this mop as much, and I've started to actually get down on my hands and knees and like scrub the kitchen floor. And I've pretty much been doing that because I was watching, hey, strangely enough, I'm going to use the same name, Gypsy. I was watching a Travelers, as they prefer to be called in some cases, and they're really clean, the Traveler girls, and they clean their kitchen floors by still getting down on their hands and knees and scrubbing, because you can kind of get into those little cracks and crevices a lot more. So I've started doing that as well. And it's a good little workout again, just to like get down and dirty. I'm finding so many little treasures up here. I find these are like the little bits of the house that just do not get cleaned enough. And you guys, just so you don't feel awful about yourself, let me tell you that I shot this over a couple of days. But I forgot to tell you guys how my house got so messy. I was really busy working. I was busy doing YouTube stuff. And yeah, and it just got trashed. It just happens so quickly. And I know that we all judge like the hoarders, like, oh, how can you let your house get like that? I honestly am surprised that more people's houses are not hoarder houses, because it happens so fast. So in a next video, I know I got coming up, I think I'm going to do a plan with me for 2025, because 2025 is coming up. Oh, good chickies. And yeah, I'm really obsessed with using Notion at the moment. And I always thought I would hate using Notion. Like, no, I got reintroduced to it and I love it. So I think we'll do that as a video coming up. And of course, we're going to have some more clean with me and cleaning motivations, but we've also got next year coming up a lot of cooking videos. I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm doing it on this channel or a different channel, but I reckon it's going to be this channel. Yeah, because I've just got so many recipes that I'm so passionate about. I want to share with you guys and enjoy this delicious, tasty food that I'm cooking with more people. But thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, life is short, life is now. Hit subscribe. Love you.